Hello, everyone. Welcome to unit number 8 of technology management. On unit number 8, we're going to be talking about digital marketing. So let's actually, this digital marketing is completely total subject, but I mean, we will try to cover it in just a few slides, just the basics of it. Not like I'm gonna go through all of it. It's too much. Like I said, it requires a whole semester. But anyway, let's go through it. So, anyways, first of all, let's understand how digital marketing it is, and it's trying to give it can be trying to give a strength to traditional marketing strategies. And nowadays, actually, we have a higher focus on the digital one than actually the traditional one, and many companies come up with many strategies, but the most important thing is we need to understand what is the goal of it, because not every single marketing strategy is the same as in the goals of it. Some of them are aiming to gaining more aware, some of them are aiming to purchase. So we will explore a little bit of that today. Here we have, for example, the case, and this one, this one it's not this L'Oreal. This image is here, but because I was playing, but it's more of about the Kia company, how they generate awareness through it. Okay, so you're gonna look at that video if you want, of course, and you'll see how through the digital media are trying to engage their customers and trying to get new customers in a new market, the European market, because Kia is not strong in there. So how through this digital strategy they were able to get more consumers to understand who is Kia, what the Kia, what is the model of the car, and get in contact with them. Okay, so again, digital marketing is just using electronic communications technology to enhance our reach for to the consumer. So we have the inbound marketing, and that is a process of where consumers are actively seeking for information. They are seeking for information, features of the product, reviews, etc. So that is very important, because we need to understand again the customer journey. We already have done that in previous unit. We understand, for example, we went to see how to buy a car, and then you realize that throughout the whole journey there's many gaps. It could be in terms of, like, maybe I never found the price and I want to know the price. Maybe I understand the features of the car, maybe the insurance and many things, but not the basics of what I want. Okay, so that brings us again to the content. How are we going to develop the content? What we want for the consumer to know, how they want us to perceive us, how we want to perceive us as a company, as a product, etc. Okay. So here, for example, we look at the content marketing matrix digitally. It's traditional is a different one. So what are we looking for? More emotion or rational? That means this one, I just want to trigger your mind and that's it, right? Make you affectionate of a certain brand, but I'm not gonna make you purchase, right? Maybe, for example, sometimes there's some advertising. There was a very sound digital strategy of Burger King that was saying, we want you to buy at McDonald's, and we want you to buy products in any other restaurants because of the coronavirus. But I think in this case, I mean, of course, they are not asking you really to buy from someone else. They are just creating awareness of Burger King, and because of that statement, they gain a lot of brand awareness. Many newspapers started to put, Burger King is asking you to buy somewhere else. So it appeared in so many newspapers, it became viral. So in the end, it was free marketing and free advertising for them. It's as simple as that. So in this case, again, it was just more of about entertaining. They were not asking you really to purchase. They didn't educate you on what the hamburger has, and they were not trying to convince you to buy their hamburgers, right? So in this case, this is precisely what I was talking about. In this case, they are just generating awareness, but not the purchase. So in this case, here is where we need to understand what content will deliver what results. Okay, by making jokes, we do not intend to convince consumers to buy something. And that is something that we need to understand. For example, Wendy's, they reply to a lot of tweeters. One very famous thing that they are for is being sarcastic in their tweets and reply to consumers. And pretty much what they want is just to create awareness that we are the Wendy's is the funny hamburger company, right? But when we talk about, for example, convincing, we may have a webinar, maybe on how to say, there's a company like the, I think it's one of the units. I don't know if I put one of the units, like for example, eToro financial services. So what they're trying to do is webinars that they educate you on how to use their platform, and ultimately they want you to use the platform. They want to convince you. A very interesting case, for example, is Coursera or edX, that they provide free courses from universities. So in some certain way, they are trying to educate you that their courses are good, their professors are good, their content is good, and then of course, if you are happy with it, maybe you can pursue a master's with them, or you will be aware of who they are and how you will purchase a degree from them. So here, there's many areas, right? So in this case, we're going to go through the digital marketing planning. So we need to understand again, well, we're going to go through this one, the situational analysis, where we are, what objectives, strategy, tactics, actions, and control. Okay. So the first question is a separate digital marketing plan required? No, it is not. Well, depends on your capabilities, because I mean, for example, if I am a company that I do not have the capabilities to supply my products online, then it is just an aid. Maybe I'm just creating awareness online, but I don't have that capability. So I have to create one strategy just for my offline, or I have to create one for my online purchasing and one for my offline purchasing, or when the two of them come together. Here, for example, the case I give you the share a Coke. This one has a Coke with a name. So it was a bit of an online, it started as an online, but switched to offline. But the main purpose was to purchase offline, not online, right? So we have to make that very clear. So in this case, we have to understand again the situation analysis of the digital business strategy. Okay, like I said just now, we want to sell online or we want to sell offline, and that is important, right? Because we have to understand how we're going to push the product in and out. We need to understand whether there's opportunities in the market, whether there's opportunities in the market when it comes to digital marketing are very instant. Sometimes is something's trending and we have to react very quickly. So sometimes the tweets, the Facebook's actions, etc., Instagram come very quickly to react to those opportunities. And of course, we go through the SLEP factors. We already have spoken about them before, because it's a macro environmental. We understand what is the current situation, how's the market, how it works, etc. And then we need to understand whether we can use those resources to put them digitally or not. Like I said, can we sell online or not? That is the main simple question. So we have to do an analysis of the demand, what our consumers want, how they want it, what is our online value proposition, what do the competitors offer, and of course whether we have intermediation, whether we need to use third parties also to sell our products, like for example the Coupang or Amazon or so, right? Very good. So we have that one. We have to, like I said, we have to do a demand analysis. Like I said, we need to understand how many of our consumers are accessing internet, how they are accessing it. Now, this one here says, what percentage of customer business have access to the internet? That is a very relevant question nowadays. The question is, are they accessing through phone or through computer? That is the main question right now. Because in the end, that's going to bring a different strategy. If they have a tablet, how the menus are going to look like, how they can purchase, whether they can do with one-click purchasing, etc. Right? Again, also we need to understand how much business we generate through the online and through the offline. So whether it is worth really putting so much effort on a digital strategy or not. And then also we need to understand whether they are willing to purchase online or not. Sometimes, like I said, when it's like a very, very costly product, like the Blue Nile diamonds, they are not willing to purchase online. They are just willing to, here for example, they are willing to get a lot of information, rational, educate themselves, but they are not going to purchase. So here, for example, I can share a lot of guides on how to buy diamonds, how to understand them, read them, look them, appreciate them, but they're not gonna. I will try to convince them by having, like here some calculations of how much makes this ring with the setting, etc. But you're not really gonna buy it. Maybe I'm gonna put that example for you. Okay, very good. I put the example for you. Okay, so in this case, we, like I said, we have to understand what information they're gonna get, how they're gonna buy online or offline, and when they're gonna do it, and how they're gonna do it, and whether we are also giving them sufficient information to go and buy offline, right? So, like I said, we need to understand also the popularity of different online customer engagement. They prefer to read our services or our products through blogs, through Facebook, through videos. What are the reviews saying? We need to understand who is saying what about us. And that is becoming very critical because nowadays businesses are engaging with influencers in placing products throughout their videos and telling them what to say in order to get paid. In the end, it's a business. Blogging is now a business, or vlogging is also now a business, and you need to understand that many of these bloggers sell themselves as long as they can have money, right? And again, we have the barriers to adoption amongst customers of different channels. And how can we encourage adoption? We need to understand how we, like I said, for example, for the Blue Nile, how can we push consumers to buy online, not offline? Online, for example, for Blue Nile, the diamond company, they decided to set a lot of showrooms. They have no inventory, no stock. Just go see the diamond, go see it, feel it, touch it, smell it, but buy it online. So in this case, we also need to understand who are the consumers. We need to do a qualitative. Previously, we were looking more at numbers and what they do and what they see. But we need to understand who they are, how they purchase, where they are, etc. Try to build and understand as a person who you are. No? So, for example, if I were to say, I'm going to look at the persona of who is a K-pop fanatic, K-pop fan. So I need to understand and go and search and understand that maybe it's a 13 to 16-year-old, maybe it's a female, it's a male, what kind of cultural background they have, etc. And try to build and understand who's that person. Because for me, launching maybe some products with maybe K-pop images, it will be interesting to know who's gonna buy that, right? There was a funny mismatch of a digital marketing last time. There was Blackpink advertising Uribank, and I don't think it's the right approach for the reason that one is a K-pop group and you're talking financial services. So for me, usually financial services are mostly used by adults, not by teenagers. So if you're trying to engage customers from a very young age to that brand or of bank, fantastic, but I don't think it was the right approach. I'm going to show you one image there. So anyways, there we have it. See here, early Unheng and Blackpink. Mismatch of a digital marketing, in my opinion. Later, don't send me a message, Professor, I like Blackpink so much. And then you're wrong. I went to Uribank because of that. So anyways, here we have the objective setting. On a digital marketing strategy, we need to understand what we want to achieve, right? Like I said, we want to make more conversions, we want to have more awareness, what we want to do. And then, of course, in this case, we need to think about it in terms of money. This is the most important. So in this case, maybe I want a financial result. I want to see that I invested X amount of money on digital strategy, how much I made out of that strategy. So in this case, for example, I used the Blackpink to appear in one of my videos of my advertising, how many new customers for the bank I saw for that specific period of time, right? We need to understand, for example, a customer value, whether I reached how many new users, right? In this one could be this, for example, there's a lot of luxury brands. They have tons of followers, but how many of those followers actually purchase that product? So we have to do an analysis also whether that is generating sufficient reach of the brand. We are promoting the brand in a good way or not. We have to understand operational processes, conversion rates. We looked at mostly at that, how many people went in and how many clicked. Okay, so that's important. Or how many times I advertised somewhere and how many times it was clicked. That's important. Or it could be innovation and learning. So in this case, we have to understand how we're satisfying our customers. So in this case, for example, whether people feel that with our strategies we are innovating, we're an innovative product, and we have the ultimate way of contacting us, right? There. So in this case, like I was saying, the online revenue contribution, we have to think of add to the basket or buy now. Add to the basket means sometimes it's gonna be there as a wish list, but I'll never buy it. And companies do an analysis of that as well. And how long you spend on the website, how long you click, how many clicks you did, and whether in the final whether there was a conversion, like I was saying here, where there's a conversion or not, right? So with this, we have to understand how we're gonna craft that strategy. Who is the persons we want to reach, how much we want to spend, and what results we want. Based on that, we're going to craft the strategy and see how. So here, for example, we understand where we are as guests, right? In terms of other brands, of other luxury jean brands, what is our value proposition, what we want to sell online, and how we're going to make it look. Here, for example, then they come up with this website, and then, of course, they try to portray what they want to do, right? So in this case, we have to think of the digital media, how these communications must look like, and what is important. So first of all, interactivity. How am I going to click, and what results I'm going to get? Can I see the colors, the size, the shoe, I was going to say the flavor, right? We need to be able to generate intelligence, means data, what data we're going to collect out of that, and how that data could prove useful in the future in order to analyze how they purchase and generate patterns. We need to have individualization based on cookies. Of course, we set cookies, and then maybe the first time you're not going to hit it right, but if they go to that data page, you will see what you clicked, and then on the next second visit, you will have all the products that probably you clicked or similar before. We have to understand of integration of the different platforms online, in terms of the phone, in terms of the computer, etc. We have to understand of the industry restructuration, because if we are selling online, how we're gonna talk to suppliers, how we're gonna connect with them, how we're gonna distribute, how we're gonna bring the product to your house. And then, of course, we have to give the independence of location, which again, in this case, where you're located and how those cookies are working, etc., etc. Very good. So anyways, here we have using the internet to vary marketing mix. So we have, the four P's, okay? But we add already also people, which is people, also blogs, etc., how we recruit, etc. Process, we tell them how to do a certain things. Very funny, the other day I was watching on Instagram how McDonald's is putting their videos of how they make their know it was TikTok, sorry. On TikTok, they were putting how they do their hamburgers. So it's a different ways of using the marketing mix and show with physical evidence. For example, how they care about the portions and they don't have smaller hamburgers or anything. So, okay, very good. The 4 P's, I'm not going to go through them because you already know that through marketing. So we have to understand that we're going to develop the online branding, which might be different from the offline. In this case, for example, I want to mention Supreme. Supreme is a brand that really has done their branding spectacularly. Here, for example, I put things that Supreme, well, things that, how to say, products that are Supreme brand, but they're ultimately nonsense. They have achieved something that is ridiculous. No, there's there's a brick of a house that says Supreme. It costs, I don't know, $1,000. And then, of course, it's because of the marketing strategy that they have developed. The short availability of products makes them want to sell them, and then the resale price is much more expensive. So anyways, they have crafted a very interesting online proposition, which to me has zero value. Like I said, the value of it is just reselling, not really having an ashtray that says Supreme. But anyways, it has worked, it works well, and it has added value in there, right? So here, and I go together with the Supreme again. So the importance of branding online. So funny fact is that Supreme goes against all these rules. Okay, content quality, no, their quality is not the quality of their content is rubbish because they barely show the products. The performance, you want to belong to the Supreme community and they don't reply you, which they do it on purpose. Ease of contact, the same thing. You cannot contact, you cannot know anything from them, but that has created the hype among the users. Quality response, like I said, sometimes they respond, sometimes they not. Acknowledgement of privacy, of course that it is. And then reflect and support offline activities. This one, they do have offline activities, but it's mostly online what they sell. So when we look at traditional brands, they have quality things. They contact you. If you have questions, you can contact them. And then if you purchase, everything goes together with really caring about you. But Supreme is the other way around. It's like, we don't care about you. Go and figure it out on a blog. And precisely that's what has generated the hype. People talking blogs and fanatics of this brand have created the hype around. So when we set up a digital marketing strategy, we need to understand how much we're going to invest on a certain channel. Is it going to pay back to have a website, to have a mobile site? Is it going to pay back? And what kind of staff I need? Because now then, if I go to more into digital strategy, then that means that I have to have more resources in terms of people that knows how to do digital strategy. We also have to understand what new responsibilities are required for this internet marketing. Now my staff, my resources need to change completely different and focus on the online area. That means that the organization changes and need to be restructured. Our supply chain needs to change. Everything needs to change, right? The way we distribute, we work, we do, we account, we read, we analyze is gonna be different. Okay, so and that means also creating and maintaining the website. Nowadays, companies prefer a third party to manage their content because in the end it's very, if you have a person that is dedicated, if you have a large company that you have a person that is dedicated to be updating the content, fair enough. But if not, it's better a company for you to do it because in the end they know and they will do it more often than you. And then we go to the area of control. Like I said, we have a digital strategy and we have to measure. We have to understand whether the objectives were met. Like I said, in this case, I was talking here much earlier of whether the conversion was done, whether I hit the target in terms of conversion, in terms of revenue, in terms of views, in terms of whatever the goal was, I have to measure them. So here, for example, Amazon tells you if you have the Amazon's Choice badge, you will see an increase in daily glance views. No, and bestseller badge, 45%. So, and then the conversion rate increases to 25, and the average increase rate conversion 33%. So, if I decide to use the badges, or if I have the badges of the Amazon's Choice, now I'm gonna pay for it. So, will I have more purchases from consumers? I have to measure it at the end of the term. Okay, very good. How long is the term? It could be 6 months, 3 months, I don't know, for however long you engaged into this practice. Okay, very good. So that's it for today. If you have any questions, you can ask me anytime. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.